What's up, guys? It's Dating Dynamic, back at it with another banger dynamic. This time, we're going to give you guys the dubs of the year. So, we already told you guys the L's of the year. So, now we're going to give you the other side of the coin. Now, look, this year, yes, there were many guys who took monstrous L's. However, City Boys are up, guys. This year, the City Boys really took some dubs, some amazing dubs that, I really want to shout out and I want to spotlight and highlight. We can learn from these dubs and we can learn how to emulate these dubs. Okay? So that's why I think it's amazing and it's awesome for us to go over the dubs of the year so that moving into the 22 year, we'll be able to translate the work which was done to earn these dubs and we'll be able to replicate them within our own dating dynamics, my own dating dynamics and your own dating dynamics so that you can, have the same success. Now, without further ado, let's start with an honorable mention. Now, you see, the honorable mention for the L of the year was Jeff Bezos. Well, guess what? The honorable mention for the dub of the year is none other than one of our favorite actors of all time, Leonardo DiCaprio. You see, my boy Leonardo DiCap was not capping this year. He hasn't been capping at all. Not only is he a renowned actor, a famed actor, an award-winning actor, okay, an Emmy-winning actor. They tried to not give him an Emmy for the longest, but he managed to get one because he deserves it. I mean, goodness gracious, does he deserve it? My boy also does his thing when it comes to dating. You see, Leonardo DiCaprio does not keep around any chick who's older than what's the age? 25, 26. You get up around that age, you getting dropped by Leo. Leo doesn't play any games. Somebody was gracious enough to, I guess, do a graph of Leonardo DiCaprio's uh, girlfriend's ages, and none of them were older than 25 or 26, if I recall. Well, guess what? Not only is my boy Leonardo DiCaprio dating beautiful young women, he's also attracting attention from all women, irrespective of their ages. Now, one of the principal reasons why we're going to give Leo a notable mention here is because of that interaction with Jeff Bezos' broad. Now, you see, Bozo's girl was staring at Leo like he was a snack. Now, of course, we know that's partially because Leo does have those boyish, uh, that boyish good looks. He does have it. Leo's a very handsome guy. However, Leo is an accomplished man. Leo is a star with a presence. When Jeff Bezos' woman saw Leo, she felt as if she was in the presence of a star. She couldn't help herself, guys. And look, a lot of guys can say, "Oh man, she did that on purpose." She really didn't. She was in the presence of a supernova and she couldn't hold herself. She couldn't control herself. She just couldn't help herself from gazing at him like that. That's because not only is Leo a handsome guy, he's a wealthy guy, he's a guy who takes care of himself, but he also presents himself in a particular manner. In that conversation which she was having with Jeff Bezos, you notice how he didn't look at her that off. I don't even think he looked at her once, right? Of course, after he greeted her, he just continued his conversation with Jeff, and he maintained eye contact with Jeff. She wasn't within his. He wasn't concerned with her at all. She was not within his periphery. After he initially greeted her, he just continued with his conversation with Jeff, and that was it. Now, what can we learn from our boy Leonardo DiCaprio? Well, one is fame and forget fame, but success will give you options. It will give you an abundance of options. You see, all these women know that Leonardo DiCaprio is not going to date them past 26, and yet they still keep coming for him because he's Leonardo DiCaprio. He's a successful actor. So that could teach you guys one thing. Another thing which we can learn from that is the importance of our presence and the importance of working on our presence. You see, it's very important as a dating dynamic that you make sure you enhance your presence as best as you can. And not only do you do that via your looks, via your presentation, your outfit, you also do that uh, via your hygiene. I'm certain that Leonardo DiCaprio was smelling good. The way she was looking at him, I'm certain that he probably had on a great fragrance, which she couldn't resist. If you guys are going out there and you just don't take care of yourself uh, hygienically, well, guess what? Game's over for you. You're competing against guys who make sure that they take care of their body, who are putting on great fragrances like, Christian Dior or great fragrances like Jean Paul Gaultier, fragrances like that, which which will make you smell good and make you smell alluring to women. And if you're going out there, you're not smelling great, guys. Look, that's going to that's going to hamper your success with the ladies. And I'm not saying that's gonna, take you down a whole lot, but that's certainly not going to help you. Having on a great fragrance and having on a great presence and presentation will take you much further than you can imagine, guys. Much, much further than you can imagine. Now, let us start with the dubs of the year after this great notable mention. At number 4 for dub of the year, kicking off the City Boys and running for a touchdown is none other than DK Metcalf. Now, guys, DK Metcalf is a football player for the Seattle Seahawks. He's a running back. And you see, my guy DK Metcalf is out here having foursomes like it's nothing. Now, this one lady tried to expose DK Metcalf because uh, he called her. I guess they set up plans for her to come over. And when she was halfway there, he called her and told her not to come anymore because he was having a foursome. That lady also talked about how when she would be with our guy DK Metcalf, he would simply smash for like 5 minutes and then he'd go back to playing his video games. Look, City Boys, we are up. You see, a guy like DK Metcalf has an abundance of options. So this chick has to deal with whatever DK Metcalf gives her if she wants to be around a guy of his value, of his caliber. Okay? Now, look guys, one thing you got to know about women. Women would rather share a guy who is who's high value. They'd rather share him than to be with a regular average guy. Okay? Absolutely not. They would not want to share a regular average guy. And really, nowadays, a lot of chicks don't even think about the average guy. They overlook the average guy. But a guy like DK Metcalf, he has a lot of options. And you know what? This chick had no problem debasing herself for him. She had no problem going over and, driving a long distance because she stated that DK Metcalf didn't live anywhere near her. So she drove over quite a distance. And halfway there, he calls her and he tells her, look, I'm having a foursome. Don't bother coming. You're not going to be able to come in. You're not going to be let in. My boy DK Metcalf, guys, show you that the abundance mindset will help you win. But you can't just have the abundance mindset in a vacuum. You actually have to earn it. Now, DK Metcalf is a talented football player, so he naturally has that option. However, most regular guys will have to build their value. And you know what? DK Metcalf had to build his value as well. Even though he is a naturally talented football player, he could have just sat on his ass and not done anything. But he decided he's going to put in the work on the field, and he made himself what he is today. And guess what, guys? You guys can do the same. So that's one dating dynamic which you need to take into 2022 to improve yourself. Now, at number three for dating dynamics, the dub of the year, we're going to give it to one of our favorite rappers, huh? Champagne Poppy Drizzy Drake. Now, guys, our boy Drake has taken some L in recent years. After his spat with Pusha T, he did get ethered. We can say that that was not a good look for him. And even though he soundly defeated Meek Mill in their beef, Drake did suffer some minor damage. But yeah, Pusha T was and has been his biggest L to date. However, guys, Drake is rebounding back with dubs. You see, a guy like Drake is a busy guy. A guy like Drake, at this point, he is a brand. He is an empire. And he doesn't have time to be sliding in DMs personally or to be hitting up chicks. He doesn't have the time for that. The guy has to worry about dropping albums. The guy has to worry about uh, doing tours. He has to worry about his OVO brand. He's running a label. He's putting on for an entire country. Come on, guys. Drake is a busy man. So you know what our boy Drake does? He has hired his own dating guy. Now, what does the dating guy do for Drake? He sets up dates for Drake. You know, he sets up Drake's dating profiles, and look, he reaches out to chicks that he knows Drake will like. Okay, he vets them, and the ones who pass muster. Well, guess what? He brings them over to Drake. Drake smashes, blows their backs out, and then they go their separate merry way. Well, guess what? These chicks, I'm pretty sure, it's not confirmed, but I'm sure that they signed non-disclaimers, okay, NDAs. You're not just gonna smash Drake and run up in his crib without him protecting himself. And most importantly, the phones are always confiscated, guys. If you're just having some fun, make sure that the phones aren't coming out. Make sure that you're not all over the snap because or all over IG or in these days, make sure that you're not all over TikTok because guess what? That's very plausible. But you see, Drake is a guy of super high value and he understands that his time is valuable. Since his time is so valuable, he can't waste it reaching out to chicks. He delegates that task. Now, look, most of us will never get to that level. Okay, never. Even some of the wealthiest ones of us. And I will say one of the main reasons why Drake can do that is because he is famous, not necessarily because of his wealth. However, look, that doesn't mean that we can't learn from this just because we will never be as famous as Drake. Look, what we can learn from this is that we don't need to waste our time chasing girls. That's not the main point of dating dynamics. The main point of dating dynamics is to improve yourself. And by improving yourself and make working on yourself, guess what? You're able to be more appealing to women. It's funny how the less you focus on women, the easier you're able to attract them. Because if you're not focusing on them, you should be focusing on you. I mean, that's what it should be. And by focusing on you, you're able to improve your value. And by improving and increasing your value, they'll take notice. Trust me, they'll always take notice. And once they take notice, that's when they come running over. So shout out to our boy Wanda, Drizzy Drake. All right. Now number two for dubs of the year, we've got to give it to our guy Kevin Samuels, the Godfather himself. Now look, the Godfather, of course, he blew up in 2020 with the infamous uh, average at best video. And however, 2021 has seen him experience some of his biggest growth. His channel has surpassed 1 million subscribers, and his content is only getting better, right? And he's been able to reach a mainstream audience, and he's able to say what most guys cannot say. He's able to speak for most guys. You see, when it comes to dating and relationships, the point of views of guys was usually disregarded or uh, just ignored and not talked about at all. And the medium through which relationship issues were mainly discussed in American pop culture and American media was daytime TV. And guess who daytime TV caters and quote unquote and panders to? Yeah, it's women. So on shows like Steve Harvey show or The View, oh my God, these shows were pandering. Or The View, well, The View's more, it's more politics. The Real, ugh, The Real, these shows were pandering to their female audience, and they were essentially not caring about the male perspective in relationships. Well, Kevin Samuels has changed that. Kevin Samuels has actually ignited a national debate regarding the necessity for strong men in relationships. And you know what? Shout out to Kevin Samuels for that because Kevin Samuels is pushing forth talking points which are very necessary in helping men find their identity in relationships, in helping men assert their dominance and claim their proper place in relationships. And for that, for his great work and his continuing work, we got to give him a dub for this year. Kevin Samuels has done so great and so well. We definitely have to give him a dub for that. You see, his work has essentially exploded the manosphere. Okay, so it's not just one segment of guys in the manosphere who are able to come up with that. Many guys were able to have their channels get more looks. Many guys who speak about uh, the plight of males in relationships, and many guys who try to help guys be the best versions of themselves in relationships had their channels blow up simply because Kevin Samuels, a leader in the sector, was getting a look. So Kevin Samuels helped a lot of people eat. So we have to give him a dub for that. And last but not least, for dub of the year, we gotta give it to the amazing Spider-Man, our boy Tom Holland. Now, why am I giving Tom Holland a dub of the year? Well, his movie just dropped. Okay, he has the number one movie in the world right now in theaters. Okay, Spider-Man: Far From Home. Well, guess what? Not only that, he is dating one of the most sought after ladies in Hollywood. Okay, one of the most sought after dames out there in Zendaya. Now, look, Zendaya is cute. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and try to act like Zendaya is and all that. She's cute. However, I I do personally think that guys gas her up so much on the internet. Guys gas her up a lot. Okay, they gas her up way too much. Physically, she's not my cup of tea. I'll just say that. Um, and facially, she's cute. She's cute. She's not bad looking, but guys gas her up. However, listen, she's perceived to be very attractive overall in the mainstream. And for that alone, we gotta give Tom Holland the dub because a lot of guys are going after Zendaya, but she's only with one. Okay, there's a lot of good movies out right now. There's a lot of great actors who put out good movies right now, but there's only one that's on top, and it's Tom Holland's movie. Okay, Tom Holland is ending the year on a bang. Okay, remember when he told Mr. Starks he didn't feel so good? Well, guess what? Tom Holland is feeling exceptionally well right now. He's feeling himself. He's doing his thing. And what can we learn from this amazing, amazing Spidey dub? Look, we can learn that by focusing on our purpose and doing what we have to do. In his case, it's putting out great movie and continuing to be a great professional actor. In our case, it's doing whatever we set our mind to accomplish in our own personal lives or in our own professional lives by doing what we have to do, we'll be able to achieve success. Okay? If you're in school, listen, continue focusing on school and focusing on your grades to achieve success. If you're in trade school, listen, my guy, put in the work. Make sure you're learning what you're learning, and make sure you take pride in what you're learning and do it well. Okay? And if you're working, make sure you work hard at every single task that's given to you so that maybe you can get a promotion or that maybe you can start your own business. Do everything with purpose. And if you want that lady you know that lady you've been thinking about getting with, take a shot. Take a shot. The worst thing which can be said to you is no. And guess what? When once you hear no, you move on. Okay? But guess what, guys? Always shoot your shot. And that's the main dynamic which you guys need to know for 2022. Always take your shot because you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So make sure you take your shot. Well, guys, we're done here for the dubs of 2021. We'll see you guys in 2022.